if you've got Dave's handout, north is in that direction. And hopefully the majority of you all are able to locate us on the map. We are in Brock Field, and you can see the word Brock there. The Brock family homestead, the farmstead, was just in the woods here, kind of in this corner that we'll see in a minute. The field was, well, let's see. So if you want to orient your map with the ground, the north is the top of the page. And so for the majority of you all right now, you'll be looking at your maps upside down. But the Brotherton Road there is along there where you see Hazen's Brigade on the map. And then at this particular moment on this map, Turchin and Cruff are spread across the field looking south. So, Brock Field, thank you. Brock Field was much larger in 1863 than it is today, and larger than it appears on that map. What is on that map is basically just what you see today. The field had a strip of woods on a wet weather drainage that runs east and west through the woods there, and then the field opened up again. And the field actually was twice or even a little more than twice the size that it is today, extended much further to the south. And so there was a greater sense of open space here at the time. Additionally, on the north side of Brotherton Road, there was a zone in which there were felled trees. Confederates, particularly in Jackson's and Maney's brigades and Smith's and Straw's brigades, will talk about federal breastworks. They are not field fortifications of some sort. They've driven Federals back into this zone where there are felled trees. Why are there felled trees? Some of you all have been on other related walks and may know it is probable that this area is being timbered, perhaps in coordination with the Brocks to expand their farm field, and the saw logs being taken down Brotherton Road to the east about a mile to J. Steam Sawmill. We don't know that for certain, but in the mid-19th century, farmers did not clear new agricultural land by felling the trees, because that's a lot more work. You girdled the trees, and this field had lots of dead standing girdled trees that had been long dead. And on the night of the 19th, in the Confederate night attack, some of those dead trees now hollow, the field on fire. The fire gets to the base of the tree, sets the inside of the tree on fire, the chimney effect up that hollow tree, and as Turner in the 6th Texas says, it looked like a series of Roman candles in the field, spewing sparks out of the tops of the trees. The field is described by several people as a cornfield, and although there is no reference to standing corn, but it obviously had corn in at least part of it in 1863, maybe some of it not cultivated in 1863, but still evident as a cornfield. So that's where we are. The fighting comes south into this zone at midday, when the hard-fighting, hard-drinking Benjamin Franklin Cheatham brings his 5 Brigade division onto the battlefield and arrays it with his right, Jackson's brigade astride, Jackson's right astride the Alexander Bridge Road, and then stretching across to Preston Smith's brigade, which comes out here into the field. Some of the little markers there are for Preston Smith's brigade, and then Marcus Wright's brigade extends the left of Cheatham's division. And they're going to encounter in this area the 3 brigades of John Palmer's division, which, going into action in late morning, early afternoon, Palmer, as he had marched up from the south, had diverted off of the Lafayette Road to near Rosecrans' headquarters, and Rosecrans had told both Hazen and Palmer, do not go into action in the standard Casey's textbook formation of 2 brigades up and 1 brigade back for a division. Go in echelon. And so when Palmer deploys along the Lafayette Road, beginning at the Poe Farmstead, he'll deploy Hazen to his left front. He'll deploy Cruft's brigade in the center and Gross's brigade to the right. And as they advance, Hazen will advance first, and then after an interval, Cruft begins his advance, so he is stair-stepped to the right rear of Hazen, and then Gross will begin his advance, so he is stair-stepped to the right rear of Cruft. This is Rosecrans' recommendation to address the issue which has been reported to him by late morning, that each federal unit, as it has gone into action at that up to that time, Brannan's division and Baird's division and Johnson's division, that their right flank or southern flank has been threatened as the action began. And by echeloning or stair-stepping off to the right rear, it theoretically, and as it turns out does, allow Palmer to react to the approach of Confederates, and in particular, the very large Confederate division of Cheatham with 3 of his 5 brigades in the front line. And as the fight is going to develop, Hazen will fight here in the Brock Field itself, and as he senses that the Confederates extend beyond his right, Cruft will move up on his right, and they will begin to fold the line back to the west, and then Gross will deploy on Cruft's right as well. And the Palmer's line really becomes facing more to the south than it does to the east. And what we're going to do in just a minute after give Dave an opportunity to add in here is we're going to depart here, and we're going to kind of walk down this line as it develops, as it turns off to be running east and west and facing north and south. Anything you want to add here?
We haven't mentioned how A.P. Stewart's division gets into this fight. This map starts us off at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but if you look all the way at the where it says Buckner and Preston down there, that's where A.P. Stewart was deployed in the morning. And this is an example of Braxton Bragg reacting to the battle as it develops in a piecemeal fashion. Instead of using Hood's Corps, now comprised of Hood's own division and the provisional division of Bushrod Johnson, which is between A.P. Stewart and the fight where Cheatham is developing. You see those guys in the middle there. Instead of using elements of Hood's Corps to reinforce the fight or to stabilize the line up here, he reaches further down the line into the middle of another corps, Buckner's Infantry Corps, to pull out a division of 3 brigades, A.P. Stewart. He brings them north behind the line, and he's going to feed them into the battle here. It's ultimately going to prove to be a very disruptive maneuver. And that's what we're going to explore today, or this morning. And as soon as Mr. Ogden is prepared,
Yep, get rid of my jacket there.
We will begin the trudge.